Rod man. This is the Fin Out of Water Football Podcast. I am your host, B Herbo, and I am with my brother from another mother, Rodman, in the building
Yes,
today on an
sir.
off-season Monday on a Thursday this week.
Thursday.
Because life and being an adult and trying to do a full-time job and a podcast schedules conflict. But that's neither here nor there. What is important is that we are here to talk football on this glorious off season. But before we get to that, man, Rob, man, what is going on, bro? Let's talk, man. What is up, baby?
Listen, man, your boy's been doing good, man. You know what I'm saying? I cannot complain, man. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I guess I can be transparent with you, the people. I'm still thinking about Colombia. I'm pretty sure, man, I won't be in the United States in 5 years, bro. I'm pretty
Nah,
sure.
listen. There's a lot of people that expat life is serious. I see why people do it. The it's speaking of transparency, bro. It is scary. It's more scary than it's ever been. This is the like if you told me that V for Vendetta was a documentary and not a movie, I would believe you. We're getting closer and closer to just living in that universe, living in that reality. Dude, we had a dude win a primary who's never ever been an actual politician who didn't even debate the person who was the incumbent for the past 8 years. He refused to debate him because he know Thomas Massey would kick his ass. And I'm talking about Ed Gallrein. And he won. He got $30 million in donation from the APAC, aka Israel. It's never been this bad, bro. Like it is outrageous what is going on right now in this country, bro. Like it's insane. It's legitimately insane.
You feel like
And
you're a
we're
part
just
of the
trying
past
and
more
we're
than you
just
see
we just
yourself.
doing this. We're just pretending like we're just doing this. I drove past a gas station. It was 460 again. Like you gotta, it's like Pokemon, bro. You gotta throw a Pokeball to catch good gas prices, bro. If it goes under $4, it will be for like 2 hours. You gotta catch it. You gotta catch them all before they're gone. Tomorrow, yesterday's price is not today's price. Like it is a effing mess. I'm not. We're This ain't a political show. I try to keep the politics out of this show because you guys are here for football. But it is a mess outside right now, dog. It's an utter mess
You got to be
across the
honest with
board.
yourself and to the people, man. You feel me?
Nah, seriously. But with that though, another thing. So before we get into the football at all, let's do a little bit of pop. Oh my God, Rod, that's what I forgot to do. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You I could, bro. I was so locked in. This is inside the baseball, guys. So the people who's watching, I was so locked in doing research for the 2002 season. I forgot to look up the 2002 pop culture stuff. So I
I
hope
got
you
that
got some.
coming, baby. Don't
All
worry.
right, bet. Appreciate you.
I
You
got that
carry.
coming, man.
You were the MVP. But no. So in the world of pop culture for this year, there was an album that dropped. I'm pretty sure you know the album I'm talking about, man. And I'm not gonna lie, man. If you like this Drake album, bro, just go get therapy, dog. Like get therapy, bro. If you connect with this album, get therapy. You need therapy. You're secretly
Bro.
depressed and you don't know how to like actually communicate your feelings. Like I'm listening to the album, bro. I've never connected with an album less, and I'm so happy I can't connect with this album. This nigga is corny, dog. And the worst thing about people who love Drake are they don't realize that they are also corny. That's why they love the fucking music. Like they don't get it. The like if you like his music and it's a bop, whatever, bro. And this is coming from a former Drake fan. Take care. Nothing was the same. If you're reading this too late, loved them. I still jam to those till this day. They're great
Facts.
bodies of work.
Especially
But
take care.
this album, Rod, this is so devoid of meaning. It's so devoid of anything. It's the most shallow that it's 43 songs of straight shallow nonsense. No depth, no self-awareness, no clarity, no purpose. Like and I'm trying not to be a hater, which is why I haven't said anything online. which is why I haven't had no review. But today was the I'm like, bro, I'm gonna give this album one more chance. Bro, I was doing this the whole album. Did he really say it? Really? He said that? He really said that?
One of my coworkers was playing it at work, and I'll just be honest, man. I tuned it out after like 3 songs, bro. Like I just completely tuned it out and was just focused on whatever the hell I was doing because I just wasn't bopping to it. You feel me?
So here's the thing. I've realized this when it comes to Drake, right? And guys, I know you're here for the football. We're going to get to the football. This is off season on a Thursday. So, hey, just hang out with us, bro. Just hang out. We got a lot. We're good. We got an actual football show. But here's the thing that I realize when it comes to people who really enjoy Drake's music, right? Like, and I'm talking about people in our age. If you are 18 to 30, you should connect with this. This is music for people in that age range, right?
Right.
People who are mostly shallow and don't really understand life, whatever. He speaks to you. Now, the part that blows my mind is people who find Drake relatable, which is utter nonsense. You niggas don't even have a passport, and this nigga's talking about Dubai. How can you relate to this nigga? This nigga actively looks down on people who are at regular 5-star hotels. Like you niggas are the niggas he's dissing in these songs.
They
Like
living through him, baby.
he
Vicariously
looks
through Drake.
down on niggas who could book a hotel at the Hyatt or the DoubleTree. You don't relate to this nigga, but you think you do because you have a parasocial relationship to him. Like you said, you are living through him. The thing about if Drake is your favorite rapper, that just means that you are a lame who thinks he is significantly cooler than he actually is. Rod, and I'm going to drive home this point. Who is the biggest Drake dick rider in media right now? DJ Academics.
Yeah,
Who fits the bill of a lame ass nigga who thinks he's significantly cooler than he is? More than DJ Academics. And that's like I'm like, bro, like y'all got it, bro. Y'all with this one, y'all got it. Y'all got it.
Did you actually listen to all 43 songs, bro? Did
I
you make it?
listen to every Rod. I'm at the point where I don't have a strong opinion unless I listen to everything. I did the same thing with the Fall Off with J. Cole. I listened to every single song. I don't care for the album, but I was like, I'm going to make sure I have an accurate opinion. I listened to all 43 songs, Rod. And it was not easy, dog. It was not easy. It was not easy, bro. Sorry for the rant, bro. I just had to get it out of my chest. Like this, I didn't have no real emotional like anger until I listened to the album today, like for the final time. It really pissed me off. I'm like, this is terrible. This is awful music. But let's get into the show, man. So for today's show, loaded show, bunch of topics, man. So what we're gonna do ahead is we're gonna start with Aaron Rodgers deciding to go ahead and retire. So, which is actually cool, man, because he's been so bad and because he's been such a disaster these past couple of years, we tend to forget how incredible he is and incredible he was and all-time great he was. So I definitely want to just go ahead and have a little bit of memory lane with that. Also, on today's episode, I wanted to talk about the future of the NFL and the future of how you're going to be watching the NFL. All the signs are leading towards you will be watching NFL on big tech companies. It might get to the point where the NFL is going to be behind a paywall, right? The roads are leading there. And then, obviously, we're going to go ahead and do another retroactive with the 2002 Miami Dolphins and the historic Ricky Williams season, man. So let's get right into it, man. Rod, quick hits. Aaron Rodgers is retiring, bro. So how do you feel about that, bro?
Listen, Herbie. The one thing that is, I guess, a pleasure about being a sports fan, and one of the things that keeps these things going, is the fact that everybody that you know, no matter the age, has the luxury of living through the era of watching great players, right?
True.
Like even if we didn't get the chance to grow up watching Magic and Bird, but we've gotten a great chance to see even Jordan. But we got to see LeBron. We got to see Steph Curry. We got to see guys like that, right? We got to see Tom Brady, the GOAT quarterback in his prime. We got to see, I didn't get to see Dan Marino, but I got to see Drew Brees. And Aaron Rodgers, Herbie, I think maybe for me, the first time I knew that he was gonna be that dude in the league. And I know some people will bang him for only winning one championship, but he did win one. And the moment that I knew he was gonna be that dude was that playoff game against the
The
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yep.
The 51-45
45
overtime
game.
robbery. Herbie, that's to this day, that's probably one of the top 5 games that sticks in my memory in terms of just a crazy, entertaining game. A game where they were down 21-10 and they fought all the way back to 45-45. And I remember watching that game, Herbie, watching all the great plays all these guys were making. Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Larry Fitzgerald. And I remember watching A-Rod, and I'm going, oh, man, he's the next great one. He's the next great one. And I think after that season, they went on to win the Super Bowl. And then after that, they went on to go 15-1. And when you talk about Herbie, a quarterback, many of the great quarterbacks in the past, Herbie, they were gunslingers. Even the guy before him,
Yeah.
Brett Favre. But the thing that separates A-Rod from many of the other great quarterbacks is the fact that, man, I don't think there is any great quarterback that took care of the ball better than Aaron. Because this guy has seasons where he's throwing 45 touchdowns and five,
And
six
6
interceptions.
interceptions. Yeah,
You
bro.
understand what I'm saying? Like,
To
A-Rod
drive home that point, and I already have this right here, bro. So these are two ridiculous stats. In over 7,000 career pass attempts, he only has 3 pick sixes. And he has the league all-time lead for the lowest interception percentage at 1.4%. 1.4% of his pass attempts ends up in an interception. That's outrageous. That is outrageous. Yeah. So as you were saying, bro.
No, man. I mean, in terms of being one of the most efficient quarterbacks, being one of the most accurate quarterbacks, having a great arm, to couple that with the fact that he was also a guy that could scramble, move with his legs. Aaron Rodgers really was the complete package at quarterback,
Yeah.
and he was considered the best quarterback in football for many years. I mean, even with Brady winning 4 or 5 titles, there were still people saying that they thought A-Rod was better, right? It took Brady winning a couple more championships for most people to be solidified, right? When it came to him. But Herbie, man, I have nothing but great memories of Aaron Rodgers, especially since he was one of my fantasy quarterbacks one year when he was going off. But he was a pleasure to watch, man. I know we got to see the old man versions. It's funny, Herbie, because I think about the young kids who are growing up watching football now that watched A-Rod the past few years. It's like me when I was watching Dan Marino. It took Dolphins fans telling me, dude, you don't know who Dan used to be? Right? And then, you know what I mean? Like, I know who Aaron used to be, Herbie, and he was one bad MFer.
He was more than a bad MFer, right? And I'm going to make this proclamation. You could argue with your mammy. Aaron Rodgers, at his best, is the best quarterback of all time. At his best. There's nobody that played the position better than him. We're talking about somebody who has a 4.5 to 1 touchdown to interception ratio. We're talking about somebody who has not one, but 3 of the top 4 best passing rating seasons of all time. And he's the all-time leader at 122.2. It is outrageous how good he was. And I'm saying this too. He is objectively the most accurate quarterback of all time. People are going to say Drew Brees because Drew Brees has that incredible completion percentage. That's
Right.
completion percentage. I'm talking about being able to throw the ball consistently at a spot only your wide receiver can catch it. He was ridiculous, which is why he could throw 45 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. His ball placement was needle thin accurate. The most accurate quarterback of all time, the greatest thrower of a football of all time. He was Dan Marino mixed with Drew Brees in one person that had mobility. He was supposed to be the GOAT, right? And that's the travesty of his career is we watched the person that was supposed to be the GOAT, but he was always in the shadow of the actual GOAT, right? Like the 2010s, the 2000s to the 2010s is the golden age of quarterbacking, right? Like I get it. We got Lamar, we got Josh Allen, we got Patrick Mahomes. No, dude. Drew Brees never been an all-pro. Think about this. Drew Brees has never won an MVP because of the people that he had to compete with in this era. Because
Drew Brees was never an All-Pro?
Drew Brees was never an All-Pro. Because there's so many people that took the All-Pro from him. Think about that. If he was, it might have been third team. Like, think about that now. Like, because all his best seasons, the team was bad because the
Yeah.
defense was atrocious. So those 5,000, 5,500, like him at his best, he was carrying a terrible team. So they were giving it to Peyton Manning. They were giving it to Aaron Rodgers. There's only so many pros to go around,
Right.
right? Aaron
Right.
Rodgers is a 4-time MVP. The only person that has as many as him, if not more, is Peyton Manning. Like, it's 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 gonna be crazy. To his highlight tape is gonna be the greatest quarterback highlight tape of all time. It's gonna be his or Patrick Mahomes, whichever you want.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that he gets to retire because now we get to change the narrative. We're not talking about him being a has been, washed up, and like, what are you doing out there in a like he looks ridiculous in that Steelers jersey till this day. To this day, he looks ridiculous. He looked absurd in the Jets. Like, somebody that good shouldn't be going out like that, right? So now it's final. It's complete. We understand he is retiring, and he gets to get the flowers that he ultimately and always deserves, right? Like, yeah,
Right.
he's prickly. Yeah, he's an asshole. Yeah, he's annoying to deal with. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the guy. But if we're talking about the skill of playing quarterback, the ability to be aggressive, the ability to throw touchdowns, the ability to protect the ball at the highest level, nobody, and I mean nobody, objectively, by the numbers, nobody did it at a better level than Aaron Rodgers, man. So, Aaron Rodgers, thank you for blessing us with your talent. It is absolutely an honor to watch. Truly, one of the greatest to ever do anything. Like, let alone be a quarterback. He's one of the greatest to ever do something, right? Like, he was
Right.
Mozart on the football field. He was LeBron James on the football field. Like, that level of genius. You feel me? Like Stevie Wonder, Herbie Hancock was Aaron Rodgers with the football. So yeah, man, I'm just happy, bro. So we get to do that, man. All right, now with that out the way, that allows us to get to our first discussion post. Rod, um, the future of NFL broadcasts is going to look very strange to a lot of people, and it's going to look very familiar to a new generation of people, right? We are in that true split middle down the line of Gen Z, Boomer, Millennials versus Gen X. Like, the stuff that is normal to them is where the NFL is going. Like, it is painfully obvious that the NFL is going to be something that you can only watch on Netflix, Amazon Prime, or some type of new tech company. That's what it's gonna be.
Right.
Like, look where the money's at. Look where the money is going. Look what the NBA did. The NBA signed a deal with NBC, and how many playoff games are on Amazon Prime? You know how annoying it is when I go on my YouTube TV that I pay $80 a month and I click on it, there's no NBA, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to Amazon Prime to watch a fucking playoff game.
Crazy. It's crazy, dude. It's madness.
It's madness. That's gonna be the NFL to the point where there's a universe for sure that the Super Bowl was gonna be on Netflix. I know that for a fact.
Facts.
Sooner rather than later, the Super Bowl is going to be on Netflix. And the NFL, because they saw the money that the NBA got and was like, y'all gave them that much money? Yeah, all right. The NFL is so powerful that they have a contract with CBS, Fox, and NBC to 2030 that they are saying, you know what? Yeah, we got 4 more years on that contract, but we saw that NBA contract that y'all did, their rights deal. Run some pockets. Look, what we finna do? We finna just tear this whole contract up with 4 years left, and we finna beat y'all across the head because we want $1 billion more. They want $1 billion more from the 2.1 billion that they are already getting from CBS. They want $1 billion more from the 2.1 billion that they're already getting from Fox. They want $1 billion more from the 2 billion that they're already getting from NBC, and they want another $1 billion from ESPN when they're already getting 2.7 from ESPN. And you know what? They all got to give it to them because what they gonna do?
Hey, NFL has about the balls. Shout out to the homie Trees Top, man. Okay, you finally made it to the live. Man, that's
Hey,
what's
what's
up,
up,
bro.
man? What's up, man?
Let's
What's up,
go.
man? Tree. That
Oh,
boy said Gen Z still bootlegging. We're not buying this shit. Millennials are suckers. They are. They don't, because they don't know. They don't know about LimeWire. They don't know how to get it. They don't know how to get it out of the mud, man. They don't know how to get it out of the mud. They don't know. But so you got to understand, we're at the point where live sports is the most important commodity in all of television. Nothing else rates like live sports. Nothing else matters like live sports. Nothing else has actual active viewership for advertisement dollars like live sports. TV shows are by the wayside. Comedy, the late night comedy, is dying. Stephen Colbert tonight is his last night. He's gonna be off the air. Like we're in a
tonight
new
is like, for real?
tonight is his last night, Rod.
Oh wow.
Nothing gets viewership. Nothing generates money. Nothing makes money for broadcast networks other than sports. And chief among them is the NFL. They have no choice but to accept the outrageous dick slap that is ripping up a contract with 4 years left on it and saying, yes, we'll give you another $1 billion. We'll go from $10 billion to $15 billion annually on TV rights deal. NFL, because we don't have a choice. And the reason why we don't have a choice is because there are two companies that have significantly more money than us that want this: Amazon and Netflix. Amazon took Thursday Night Football from Fox. And when it got Thursday Night Football, those were some of the worst games. They just threw anything. How many times, like the Jags were on Thursday Night Football like 5 times a year.
The
Like
throwaway
5 times. The
They had
throwaway game. The throwaway game that nobody cared about. Look at Thursday Night Football now. You can make an argument that Thursday Night Football is better this year, is a better lineup of games than Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football is supposed to be the premier product. The NFL, like, hey, we might have to ride with them and give them something because they really paying. And we're giving them some really good games. Like, look at this Thursday night lineup, Rod. I got Detroit at Buffalo, week 2. Atlanta at Green Bay, followed by Pittsburgh at Cleveland, Tampa at Dallas, Seattle at Denver, New England at Chicago, Carolina at Green Bay, Jacksonville at Baltimore, Washington at New York, the Colts at the at Houston, a division game late in the season, so it's going to be important. Denver at Pittsburgh, Kansas City at the Rams, Minnesota at New England, San Francisco at Los Angeles, the Texans at Philadelphia, and ends it at Baltimore and Cincinnati. That might be a game for the division. That was never the case for Thursday Night Football.
Amazon said, "Hey, we don't want no Dolphins. Give us nothing but premier games."
And I misspoke. I thought that teams still had to have a primetime game. I didn't know that the NFL was like, get that shit out of here. They just ripped that whole thing up. There's 3 teams that don't have a primetime game this year. The Dolphins are one of them. I forgot the other 2 teams. Because they're like, no. Like, no.
No. People want to actually watch these games. That's just the reality.
That's just the reality. Like, and this is the new reality. If you look at the Sunday night lineup, it is not better. At worst, they're even. But they're not supposed to be even. Sunday Night Football is the premier product, or it was. This is the new way that we are going to be watching football. I promise you. It is going to be on Amazon Prime. It is for sure going to be on Netflix. Netflix not only has the Melbourne game for week 1, which is Thursday Night Football. They have the Thanksgiving Eve game. What the fuck is a Thanksgiving Eve game? They just making up games at this point. But whatever. They got it.
They're so shameless, bro.
There are 3 games for Christmas. The 3 games for Christmas. The NFL said, NBA, fuck your day. That's our day now. There's 3 games for Christmas. Netflix has 2 of the 3. Fox has the last one. And I guarantee Fox is not going to have that last primetime game for that many more years. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years, because it rotates. After that, those games are going to be on Netflix.
Or Prime or Peacock. One of those.
That's we already remember you had to sign up for Peacock to watch the playoff game. I think what 2 years ago, Chiefs game. You had to get Peacock to watch the game.
Yeah.
Like, I went to the bar, dog. I went to a sports bar, guys, to watch the NBA playoff game. They told me we don't got Amazon Prime.
Get out of here, bro.
I repeat, I went to a sports bar to watch a sporting event, but the sports bar could not play the sporting event because it was on a streamer and it was not on network broadcast television or cable. So that bar could not show the game. I had to log into my Amazon Prime and watch the game on my phone at a sports bar.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
And
I can't believe
because
that.
the NFL is so important, you could get away with that with NBA, whatever. Every sports bar in America is going to have to pay for streamers now.
They can't miss out on that money, man. It's all about that money on.
This is the new reality, bro. Like, the
Crazy.
Super Bowl is not going to be on CBS, Fox, ESPN, or slash Disney. It's going to be on Netflix. And there's people saying that the Super Bowl at one point might be on pay-per-view, dog. Because we are in a reality, a society that it is have and have nots. It is luxury experiences. There's going to be a point in time where the Super Bowl is going to be treated as a luxury experience, and they're going to charge people to watch the Super Bowl. And the problem is there's people who are so rich and have disposable income, they'll pay for it because they can, versus saying no. As us all being unified, because we are the consumer, we ultimately have the most power, but we don't understand that. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. But too many people are not going to give a fuck, and then they're going to do it. Listen, all of this is data collection, right? When you saw, hey, there's going to be one game on Netflix, that game was data collection. That was okay. This is what we got to do. This we got to work on. Now we know how to actually broadcast this. Let's go back to the NFL and show them what we're capable of. And because we're Netflix and we have 250 million subscribers globally, paying $20 a month, we got a lot of money.
Dude, that's insane. I remember when Netflix, you used to have to get Netflix in the mail,
You used
man.
to have to get Netflix in the mail, and now it's a company so big that they are big dogging legacy broadcast networks.
Damn, dropping their nuts on the table. That's fucking
Dropping their
drop
nuts on the
it.
table. Rafi, what up, baby? So, yeah, listen, I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer, the doomer. I'm just following the tea leaves, man. I know where this is going. I know where this is going. It's obviously going towards that, man. So, hey, it is what it is. Any last words on this topic, Rob, before we switch over?
You know what, Herbie? Sometimes I kind of call back to and reminisce the times where we used to watch like you remember that one cable channel, the TV Guide channel? Like I reminisce about the days where we didn't have these luxuries to where like Herbie, at the end of the day, like even if you miss a game, if it's on Netflix, you could just hop on Netflix right after the game and start the game from the beginning. And it's like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you never it's the times are so different now and things are changing and there's nothing we can do. But man, this is all just it's all happening so fast, bro. That's how I feel.
it's happening at breakneck speed, right? Oh, another thing, right? And this could be a quick hit. Another reason why I know this is where it's heading. The NFL at the owners meeting, unbeknownst to a lot of people, because news that people want you to actually don't want you to know about is the news that they don't talk about. The NFL owners approved that the cap on international games goes from 8 to 10. And that 10 does not include Jacksonville Jaguar games, bro. So theoretically, there could be 16 international games in the season. Because every time the Jaguars play overseas, that doesn't count towards the cap.
That's fucking crazy.
The Jaguars next year are going to have 3 games in London. That's 3 home games in London for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just call them just call them the London Jaguars, bro.
The Wimbledon Jaguars.
To call them the Wimbledon Jaguars at this point. Like there's gonna be 10 international games, Rod. This train ain't stopping, bro. This train is not stopping, dog. It's gonna be football minimum 5 days a week. There's going to be football on Saturday. There's going to be football on Wednesday. There's going to be football on Friday consistently. We have the Black Friday game on Amazon Prime, which is going to be
Yeah.
in its fourth year. Like, it's not
Already 2 years.
stopping, bro. It's
This,
not
man.
stopping.
Pandora's box has been unleashed, man. The moment they played a game on Netflix, that was the beginning.
Like, it is what it is, man. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, Mr. Rodney. We are doing another retro season, and this season is going to be the 2002 Miami Dolphins. But before we get into the actual Dolphins or recap the Dolphins, man, what we like to do, we like to reminisce on the year that we're doing the retroactive of. So obviously, this year is going to be 2002. So Rod, you got some pop culture tidbits from 2002. Take me through memory lane, brother.
So, I'm looking through the list that I compiled here, man. First and foremost, Herbie, and we can never forget this, man, because we grew up watching this movie. This was the first Spider-Man movie that came out. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movie, which was, y'all gotta understand, like, superhero movies prior to Spider-Man were terrible, right? Like, even, and I love the X-Men movie that came out prior to this, but that movie doesn't compare to this movie, Spider-Man. This was the movie that broke open the love and what it is now when it comes to superhero movies. And I remember it at its infancy, right? And I had totally forgotten. Like, I was telling Herbie before when we were plotting for the show, I'm like, man, I don't remember anything from 2002. Your boy is fried.
At all. At all.
Next thing. This is one of my favorite movies, bro. The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, bro. I remember this was one of the things that we had with my pops, and my pops took us to see all the Matrixes, all the Lord of the Rings, and this movie, I just remember this movie just being so epic, especially the battle at the end, right? You also had another movie that I love, and this is just for me being a Star Wars fan, Attack of the Clones. Star Wars
It came
Attack of
out.
the
It's two. Oh my god, man!
Bro, came out in
2002 was rough.
2002. Bro, and this is one of the most iconic games of all time. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Come on,
That's a
y'all.
big one. That's a big one.
Come on, y'all.
That's a big one.
It was epic, but here's a couple of the tidbits, man. You had this was the I think 2002 was the year that Kobe and Shaq they had won their championship. I guess coming off of 2020, I mean 2001, but that was the three-peat. Kobe and Shaq, three in a row. You know what I'm saying? This was the era where AOL, Instant Messenger, and MSN Messenger were a massive part of the culture. Y'all, let me tell you something.
Wow.
Rod used to be on them little chat rooms at night. Y'all know the chat
Man,
rooms I'm talking
man,
about.
you was wilding. You was a wild
I
boy in
was
them chat
wilding.
rooms.
Young boy too,
You
man, wilding.
you was a wild boy in them chat rooms, man.
And here's bro, imagine this. I also have bro, Naruto aired in Japan, right? This was the
Jesus
anime aired
Christ.
in Japan in 2002. This has become a cult classic series, bro. The top 3 songs from hip hop, R&B, pop rock were Hot in Here by Nelly, Without Me with Eminem, and then you had Complicated with Avril Lavigne. I mean, this was bro. DC Sniper happened, bro, in 2002. You go back in these years, you just realize like there's so much that happens every freaking year, man. Bro, there's so much that happens, man. Winamps were a thing back then, man. You
Nah,
don't even.
so it's funny. So I actually while you was doing that, I was able to pull up a couple things, right? So Rod, we like to do a little trivia, right? So for the people in the chat, y'all could go and throw y'all guesses too. So Rod, what do you think was the number one show in 2002?
Man, the number one show, American Idol. I know those shows were coming out back then.
American Idol did debut in 2002, which sounds crazy. Like, that was such a phenomenon. But no, the number one show in 2002 was CSI Crime Scene Investigation. Some
Bro,
things never change, bro. That shit still is one of the top shows. Some things never change.
people
Number
have
two
an
was
obsession with
Free.
that shit, man.
It's great. It's honestly great. Like, it's just perfect television, right? Like, it's just perfect television. So, Friends, Joe Millionaire, ER, American Idol, and Survivor. And then Everybody Loves Raymond rounds out the top 10. Don't you want to go back to where sitcoms were, like, everybody was appointment viewing for sitcoms, man? Take me through a time. Best selling albums of 2002. Number 5, Eminem with the 8 Mile soundtrack. This dude sold 3.5 million copies of a freaking movie soundtrack. That's outrageous.
Outrageous.
Number 4, the Home by the Dixie Tricks, 3.7 million copies sold. Number 3, Let Go by Avril Lavigne, 4.1 million copies sold. Nellyville by Nelly, 4.9 million copies sold. And then number 1, by a shattering amount, Eminem Show, 7.6 million copies sold.
Oh,
This man went 4-time platinum with the movie soundtrack and an 8-time platinum with his own album. 2002 was a time, man.
it was
2002 was a time, brother. Time was a time, man. So now let's go ahead and get into the actual NFL season in 2002. So before we actually get into the Dolphins, right? I want to go ahead and pick your brain on a couple things, right? Who do you think was the passing leader in 2002?
the passing leader in 2002.
For passing yards. Who do you think had the most passing yards in 2002 in the NFL?
It's probably gonna be someone random like Mark Brunell or something.
Rich Gannon.
I knew it was gonna be somebody.
Rich
Gannon, there
Gannon.
you go.
Who do you think was the receiving leader in 2002? Receptions and receiving yards.
Ooh, man. Who? Who was it, man?
Marvin Harris. Oh, my bad. We don't say his name. Heron Marvison. We don't say his name. We try to avoid saying his name. Look into a couple of places. We don't talk about the boogeyman. I forgot. I don't even know why I brought it up. My bad. My bad. We don't talk about the boogeyman on this. The sack leader, Rod. You should know this one. Who do you think was the sack leader in 2002?
JT, man. Gotta be
Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor had 18 and a half sacks in 2002. That's outrageous.
T, man.
That's outrageous.
He was an all pro.
And
He had 3 all pros, man.
last but not least, who led the league in being sacked and also set an all-time record that is still yet to be broken?
Who led the league in all time being sacked? Who was it, bro? Who was it?
David Carr, bro.
Oh, it was the first year of the Texans. That's right.
Bro, Rod, every football fan owes David Carr the biggest apology, dog. Like, when I just to see this man got sacked 76 times, that's ridiculous.
Bro, that's traumatizing. That's traumatizing. That's traumatic. 76 times he got put to the... He never had a chance, Herbie. His career was over before it started.
And this is 2002 when this ain't today's NFL. Like, those were 76 real sacks, bro. Like, real sacks. He never had a chance. Never. We all owe that man. Like, he's the one person you cannot call him a bust. You can't call David Carr a bust.
He was robbed,
he was robbed of any chance of having anything, bro. 76 times in a season is malpractice. Are you kidding me? He was literally on an expansion team, and we just blamed him for, bro. He never, 76 sacks is outrageous, dog. Like, that's outrageous. That's bro.
Unbelievable, bro. That's
unbelievable. All right, man. So let's get into it, man. 2002, man. Yeah, Miami Dolphins, bro. What do you remember about that Miami Dolphins team, man? What's your fondest memories, bro?
So here's the thing about that team, Herbie. When it comes to the 2002 Dolphins, during that time of my life, that was the most optimistic I ever was as a Dolphin fan because I was still a young kid in middle school. And I just remember we started off that season high. We started that season off 5-1. And for those of you who don't remember, that was the first season that they realigned the divisions. So at least, especially in the AFC, that was a real wacky season. But the thing about that season, though, was the Dolphins were really in the thick of it throughout the entire year. I think this was the year right after the Patriots won. And obviously, this was the Ricky Williams season, which I'll get to him in a minute. The Dolphins had the number one defense, Herbie, in the AFC, which is like crazy to think about. Like, when's the last time you could say that? We had three All Pros from that team: Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas, and Patrick Surtain. And those guys, man, they were a pleasure to watch week in and week out. And I just remember, Herbie, watching that, feeling like the Dolphins were gonna get in there and go to the playoffs. But here's the thing: the crazy thing about the AFC during that time period was that there was a lot of parity between the teams. There was no clear. There was probably like a good 7, 8, 9 teams that had 8 to 10 wins. So I remember going into the second to last week, Herbie, the Dolphins were going up against a 4-10 Vikings team. If the Dolphins win this game, and Herbie, you go back and you realize, the Dolphins have been doing the same thing over and over again for decades. Herbie, all we got to do is beat a 4-10 Vikings team that we had no business losing to. We win the division, we're in the playoffs. The Dolphins lose that game to the Vikings. Next game, the Dolphins, Herbie, this is one of the only times in NFL history, might be the only time in NFL history, where a football team, Herbie, had every single scenario to be every seed and not make the playoffs. The Dolphins could have been the 1 seed if they beat the Patriots, depending on who won and lost, and they could have missed the playoffs. Guess what happened? Guess what happened? We play the Patriots. We're up 24-13 against the Patriots. And what happens? Tom Brady and them make the comeback. We lose. The Jets go on to spank the Packers. Last time the Jets actually have a division title under their belt, Herbie. And the Dolphins, who had a chance to be the 1 seed, end up not even making the playoffs, wasting a great year by the defense. And of course, Herbie, Ricky Williams, who, by the way, probably had one of the most epic seasons you will ever have a running back have. And he was fresh on the Dolphins, Herbie. And going back and watching Ricky's highlights, I was like, God damn, he was such a pleasure to watch. He was such a joy to watch. He was just the complete package at the position, man. And just the opportunity to have had to watch Ricky Williams, just the opportunity to have had watched Jason Taylor at his best, Zach Thomas at his best. I mean, Herbie, those are memories that you can't take away from anyone, bro. And I will forever, even though the Dolphins ended up completely flaming out towards the end of the season, man, I just remember how excited I was week in, week out. Remember, after the 5-1 start, I thought the Dolphins, man, back then, the niggas used to be like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. Like, I was an ultra homer back then. Now, not so much. The Dolphins now are kind of like that child who I raised and just disappointed me in every single way. That's kind of how I view them now. But, man, 2002 Dolphins, Herbie, despite how it ended, it was an exciting ride all the way through.
No, it was an exciting ride, and so when I went back and looked, obviously, I noticed two things. 2002 felt like 70,000 years ago, bro. That football just looked and felt and just had a different feel to it, bro.
Yes.
And it felt so dated, and I was like, all right, bro, all right, I nostalgia is a hell of a drug because some of this shit is ass. I'm not watching this shit. I'm not watching it. Hey, listen, I love it. I love it. I love it. I appreciate, but yeah, I kind of like this 2010s, 2020s era football just a tad bit more. But no, all jokes aside, I just found it to be incredibly fascinating to watch 2000s football, which was essentially give your running back the football and get out of the way. That's literally what it was. That's what it was. Right? And that leads us to one of the greatest running back seasons of all time with Ricky Williams, bro. Here's just some of the stats for Ricky Williams. First in rushing yards, first in attempts, first in yards per game, second in, I want to say, rushing touchdowns, right? He had 16 total touchdowns. He would have been the player of the year, AP player of the year, offensive player of the year, if it wasn't for freaking Priest Holmes, who had also a ridiculous season that season as well. But you got to remember, the thing about the early 2000s was it was a time where I don't think Sunday Ticket was available, and you basically could only watch the team that is in your network, right? Like, there was no real way. There wasn't no Stream East. There wasn't no streamers where I could watch whoever I want to watch. No, if you put the TV on and your team is playing either at 1 o'clock or 4:15 Eastern, you're gonna watch the Dolphins. And I remember two things vividly that's ingrained in me. One, Ricky Williams getting the ball because they didn't want anybody else to do anything on offense. And he got the ball 383 times in one season, dog. And the other thing I remember is because the Dolphins had to share a team, had to share a stadium. It looked like the baseball field. Right?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. When you go back and watch that shit, you're like, oh my god. Fair Stadium with the freaking Marlins.
They had to share a stadium with the Marlins.
Oh my god. Back in the day, man, people they didn't give a damn.
They did not give a damn. They did not give a damn. One of the most famous plays of Ricky Williams' career is him almost touching the ground, but him contorting his body on the
Yep.
baseball mound sand.
Yep. Epic.
So
Epic.
it was such a blast from a past. The uniforms, that real teal, like that actual, that neon
Bro,
teal,
I
like the
love those
metallic
uniforms. Those are
teal.
some of my favorite Dolphins unis, bro.
They were
Like,
so fire. We've really lost our way when it comes to uniforms, bro. Like uniforms used to be fire. Fire. Used to really
yeah.
legitimately be dope. But on to the Ricky Williams, right? So I want to go ahead and lean in a little bit more on the Ricky Williams because I want to compare and contrast the style. Yeah, like Trash said, the Raiders doing that like 2016 because they used to play with the Oakland A's, bro. So they had to share it. It was bad with the Raiders. Like it was Al Davis ain't give a damn, man. Like god damn Al,
Let's
like
win,
damn,
baby.
just win, baby, Jesus, right? So I want to go ahead and compare the eras, right? Rushing the ball in 2002 and running the ball in 2025, right? So I got both seasons put up, and these are some of the things that I found interesting. How many running backs do you think went over 1,000 yards in 2025, and how many do you think went over 1,000 yards in 2002, Rod? Just throw a number out there.
In 2025, let's say I'll say 8 running backs went over 1,000 yards in 2025, and in 2002, I'll give double the number, 16.
You were close. It's actually 17 for both.
Oh, oh wow.
So it was 17. So 17 running backs went for 1,000 yards in 2002, and 17 running backs went for over 1,000 yards in 2025. And I found that interesting because I thought it was going to be significantly less in 2025.
Right.
But we are getting back to a running game because teams went small for linebackers, went for speed. Now teams on offense are going for power, so it makes sense. It's all cyclical, right? So, but no, I found it really interesting. What the key difference is this though. In 2002, 9 people minimum, 9 people had over 300 attempts. 9 running backs had over 300 attempts. In
Damn, they were
2022, I
running these
think
dudes into the damn
to
ground,
the
boy.
ground.
Yeah, damn, bro.
And to compare that to 2002, where four running backs went over 300 attempts in 2002. In 2002, Ricky had 383. The most in 2025 was 323. That's 60 less attempts, dog. And that's with an additional game.
That's fucking bad. That's bananas.
That's 16 games versus 17 games. These dudes are not even getting close to 380 attempts with one less with an extra game, bro.
Well, you know what it is now. The NFL is very well aware of the damage it does just giving a guy. Because imagine being running back is the most thankless job in sports because you're literally running into a car accident every play. That's your job.
Every play, and hold that thought because I want to get back to the point in regards to Ricky Williams, right? But this was I really liked, right? So let's just go some of the names for the top 10 running backs. Matter of fact, it was running backs were so deep I could go 15 deep on the names of 2002. This is the top 15, and I'm gonna go from 15 to number one. Number 15 that year is far, and this is leading rushers. Curtis Martin at 15, Eddie George 14, Sean Alexander 13,
Sean
Almond
Alexander.
Almond Green 12, Michael Bennett 11. Now here's the top 10. Corey Dillon at 10, Fred Taylor at 9, Jamal Lewis at 8, Tiki Barber at 7, Deuce McAllister at 6,
Yes.
Travis Henry at 5, and the top 4, Clinton Portis, Priest Holmes, LaDainian Tomlinson, Ricky Williams. Take me back to that Madden. Take me back to that Madden, dog. Oh my God, did you hear those names? Did
Bro.
you hear those names?
God damn,
Oh
what
my
an era
God.
for running backs, man. And
What
Sean
an
Alexander was lower
era.
on that list.
Edgerrin James didn't even make the top 15. He was 18th. Edgerrin James, dog. Like,
Damn.
we used to be a proper country, bro. We used to be a proper country. But to the point that you were talking about in regards to it being a thankless job and it being overly physical, when I went back and watched highlight tape of Ricky Williams, and they have it on YouTube. It's 30 minutes. It's from NFL film, so it's the best quality you're gonna get. Dude, I just imagined a different running back. I legitimately thought Ricky used to shake dudes more than he did. He just ran into people. That's all he did.
He was like Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, he was like Marshawn Lynch. If you watch Marshawn Lynch, that's kind of what Ricky was. Not completely, but kind of.
It was insane because I'm like, bro, I'm like Ricky, Ricky took some hits, dog. Like he got hit. He got hit really effing hard, bro. And I'm like, no wonder your body gave out on you. No wonder you had to retire. You were out. You lost your damn mind out here running like this. And then Dave Wannstedt, he didn't give a damn. He did not give a damn.
King
It was jarring to actually watch Ricky Williams again because I remember the speed, I remember the burst, but I didn't really understand now because obviously I was a kid, right? I wasn't old enough to truly understand what I was watching with Ricky Williams in 2002. At that point, I would have been 13. I wasn't super young, but I was still young.
Right.
But I was like, dog, this dude is taking massive hit after hit and after hit. And these are not from 220-pound linebackers. These are from 245, 255, sometimes 260-pound linebackers. And they're coming like heat seeker missiles. And I was just like, dog, when I was watching him, and Rod, you're going to find this absolutely hilarious. You say Marshawn Lynch. This is the person that he reminded me of. When I was watching Ricky Williams, that tape is the same thing I seen when I watched Ashton Jeanty tape, bro. They're the same person.
Oh man, Ashton shit.
They're the same person, Rod. Ashton Jeanty is a 5'9" version of Ricky Williams. They're the same person, bro.
Well,
They're the same person.
Hey, Raiders fans, if that bodes well if he can turn it around.
No, but and again, I don't think he's gonna have the career that Ricky Williams had. But if we're just talking about literally how it looks, if you put them side by side, that quick feet, that sudden burst at a big ball, but just loves to run into people, dog. Just literally just runs into people and tries to break tackles in the worst possible way. I was like, oh, this is Ashton Jeanty before Ashton Jeanty. Now, I'm telling you, Rod, go watch it again with that context. You're gonna bust out laughing because you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, I see what Herb's talking about."
Hey, Tree said you got beef with Ashton Jeanty, man.
Nah. Listen, like I tell people all the time, I get such a bad rep. Ashton Jeanty is a Zoe, bro. Like he's the last person I want to have beef with, but I had to be honest. Like I just had it was so mind blowing to see something obviously was not conducive to having a great running back career and being told that this is a generational running back. It just didn't make any sense. It made no sense, guys. It made no sense. And I don't take joy in this. I get nothing from this. I don't get paid. I don't get commission for being right about Ashton Jeanty, dog. I want him to be great. That's the thing. I have a snarky tone, so it comes off like I'm reveling in it. No, I'm not. I'm really not, bro. But people, bro, Trez, don't go in them comments, boy. They are very possessive about Ashton Jeanty, bro.
Bro, you go on those R-rated videos, our Ashton Jeanty videos, boy.
They are. They
He
are
has to be.
sensitive when it comes to Ashton Genty. But no, I'm just talking about pure play style. This is not a slight to Ashton Genty. This is not a slight to Ricky Williams. It's just I saw Ricky Williams. And the reason why, to be specific, it's the quick feet. Because they both do that. They do that little quick step.
Right.
And you think they're about to shake somebody. No, they doing this just to run straight into a wall, bro. Like it's
Madman, dog. Just Ricky was. I remember Ricky just ran like a madman. That's just
he
what I
just
thought
ran
as
like a
a kid.
madman. He ran like
That's
a
what I thought as a
madman,
kid.
and if he could break the tackle, it went 80 yards. If he couldn't break the tackle, hey, it is what it is. You got by 5, and that's how Ashton just do it. But again, I'm not trying to poo-poo the season. It was just jarring. But I mean, 1,800 yards, 4.8 yards per carry that year. He was amazing. 16 touchdowns, bro. He was amazing. Hampton, you got me. Your guess is good as mine. I haven't give that guy a zero thought. I'm not to throw no shade. I have no idea who you're talking about. I have no idea. I
Yeah,
don't
bro.
even know.
That's how deep it was. This dudes you can forget about back then.
Yeah, for
Boy.
sure, right? For sure, right? But yeah, man. So any last words that you wanted to have on this one, Rod?
Listen, man. It's I. You know what? I've come to really enjoy doing these retrospectives, man. It's always nice to go down memory lane. And what was nice about this one, Herbie, was this retrospective allowed me to remember what it was like to actually be happy to watch my team, because I haven't been excited, truthfully, to watch the Dolphins in years.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
watched
for
the
sure.
team, understanding our history, understanding what has happened. As a matter of fact, if I'm being real transparent, this is the most excited I've been in a long time, knowing that we're not even more than likely not going to be good next year, but we're starting over, right? We're starting over, and we'll see what happens. I listened to some of that audio of Halfley in the media. I mean, Halfley talking to his players. Halfley had me ready. He had me ready to go buy some gear, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that could translate to a better team than we think. But in 2002, Herbie, I was excited. I thought the Dolphins could legitimately win a Super Bowl. And that's probably the last time in my life I actually believed that.
Nah, fair. Fair. That's fair,
Yep.
man. So with that, man, we're gonna go ahead and get a body hit, man, and we will see y'all next week. Everybody in the chat, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. To the subscribers, we have 15 on the road to 1,600 subscribers. The clips are starting to pick up again, bro. Football is in the air, and we are here to talk about it, man. See y'all next week.